Okay, so we're back. I got my dog to be quiet. My little pug, he goes nuts all the time. He's got some bad anxiety or something. Okay. Oh, also, if you hear clicking or some sort of noise in my mouth, I got a cough drop. I have a very sore throat, so I'm sorry if that bothers you or anything. Okay, so let's head forward here. Let's go to the door, and lock is broken. Oh. So we can go in here. Nope, of course not. And there's some very sinister black smoke coming up through these vents. Wow, that's really annoying. Would you knock it off? Goodness gracious. So I just want to point out that it's very clear that the black on these vents is built into the texture, and that for black smoke to be coming through it just looks silly. Just looks awful. Oh, there's a screaming monster noise. Can't go that way. Black smoke over here. And again, some of the things in this game look pretty good. For example, these fans that they do with the little lighting and the boxes, and it looks pretty good. It's nothing amazing. It doesn't really mean anything symbolism or imagery wise. It looks fine. Go in here. Oh, there's Robbie. Oh my. He's sucked into this goo hole. And this is the room where we found the little baby thing earlier. And here are the windows. And here we can see an ooze hole. Should we reach inside or leave? I just want to point out that this is a reference to Silent Hill 2, the room in which you must reach inside in an oozing green hole to reach in and grab a key for the clock. I just want to point that out. I'll show you a picture here in case you are new to the series. This is a reference to better games. So let's reach inside. Oh. Okay. So now we gotta tap the button really quickly. So in Silent Hill 2, we got the Robbie the Rabbit doll. It doesn't look like a doll, it doesn't look soft, it looks like a porcelain statue, but okay. So just worth noting that, oh, I think we got some creepers. Creepers, lore-wise, are something we've seen in a lot of Silent Hill games. They are essentially the sort of throwaway pest enemy. They are just the leftover remnants of the town's supernatural horror magic. And they're in Silent Hill 2, they're in Silent Hill 1, they're in 3. That's really all they represent, is just that leftover magic. They're meant to be there to annoy you and create some atmosphere, and that's what these enemies are. Anyways, in the Silent Hill 2 version of reaching into this hole, sorry, I was listening to outside my window. In the Silent Hill 2 version of reaching this hole, you reach in and there's a slight vibration of your controller, and then James kind of he gasps and he pulls his hand out, but then he slowly reaches back in, he grabs the key, pulls it out, and the whole time there's a very slight vibration to make you think at any second it's going to jump and something's going to grab you, but it doesn't happen. The developers show restraint, you pull the key out, and ta-da, you have the key. But it makes you very tense the whole time. We reached in, and within 2 seconds here, there's a crazy QTE, the UE button prompt shows up to tell us to click and rapidly pound, and there's a strong vibration and a pounding, and the music's going, and there's a slimy monster noise shouting. There's nothing scary about that. There's nothing scary about that at all. It doesn't create tension, it doesn't disturb you. It's just something that happens. In Silent Hill 2, when you do it just correctly, it's very terrifying to the player. It's very scary, and to this day, it's something that not just I, but many people remember, even people who aren't big Silent Hill fans will say that's a very well done sequence. All it takes is a little bit of restraint and a little bit of subtlety. And Homecoming has neither. It has a complete lack of either one of those. So again, sorry for going on and sort of nitpicking. We're still in the very first area. But I think it's very important. That's sort of why I want to do this series, to address every little detail of more specifically game design and why this game fails. Anyways, sorry. Let's keep going. So just for solidarity, let's check this door. Of course it won't open, because that would mean rendering another room. So we'll take the doll back to the little shit Joshua. And it should be over here. It's jammed, so let's give him the doll.
Here.
I want Robbie.
This is yours, you remember? Take it. Come on. Where are you going? Josh! Josh, come back! Where are you going? Josh!
So just an absolutely riveting cutscene in which we give him the doll and he just runs away. And he left us a picture of Robbie. Excellent. Like I said, he's just not likable. He just runs away and, like, do you feel like I should follow him? Do you feel as a viewer or as a player that you want to go help this kid? Does he need help? But there seems to be no imminent danger to him, as far as we can tell. It's jammed. Like, okay, it's not even jammed, it's just, okay. Of course, writing an extra prompt for that door would have been really hard. All it takes is an extra string in the code, but... The child's drawing here. Oh. I just missed what it was. 4. I don't want to... Oh, goodness. Let me see if I can find the child's... There's gotta be some button that... Goodness. A journal. I have to go in the actual menu. There's a manual. Here we go. So there is a journal. So the bunny is flailing in the water. Okay. So... I think I hear the faint sound of water lapping on the shore. The source seems to be coming from just beyond the store, but that's impossible. This is a hospital. So again, flavor text not written well at all. And you can actually hear a slight sort of lighthouse noise and water behind the door. What you should have done is just put that noise there and just write, I think I hear the faint sound of water lapping on the shore. That's it. The implications are I mean, that's using game design and the sound that's coming from behind and everything tells you all you need to know. You don't need to point out to the player, but that's impossible. This is a hospital. The source is behind the door. Like, it's just redundant and it's useless and it's awful. Let's go on. I can't get through right now. Okay. Okay. Let's figure out where to go. Go this way. Now wait a minute. Let's check our map. Let's check this first, but then let's check our map. So we have a Robbie the Rabbit doll. Oh, I forgot. You can't just hit M to do the map, you have to hit tab. Okay. So we are the blue arrow, I guess. Oh, we didn't check room 205, I guess. I didn't even notice it. Yeah, we checked this, but is this 205? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Huh. I think Josh went over here, but I can't get through the... Oh, I see. I can't just use the elevator like in other Silent Hill games. I have to go and use the actual call button. You know what? Fair enough. That's not on the game, that's on me being stupid.
Bad dream? Hometown? You could say that. Good luck, soldier. Thanks. Thanks for the ride.
Okay. So, just to cover a few things. If you couldn't tell from the jacket or the beginning of the intro cutscene, Alex is in fact part of the military. That's the justification for putting the combat and then putting more, in-depth combat into the game is that our main character is part of the military. He wears the military jacket, he has the knife, and he knows all the sick combos with a knife, and he knows how to do charge attacks, because he learned it all in the military. That's why the combat's in there, or that's the justification, and also because he's part of the military. Kind of a cool idea, if Silent Hill reflects the psyche of a person and torments them with their deepest fears, then having somebody who is in the military as PTSD, great idea. Unfortunately, that has nothing to do with Alex at all, except that it's put in there as an excuse for the combat. Also worth noticing is the fact that the trucker who was driving us here was a bearded dude in a nice jacket and hat. It was in fact an older version of Travis Grady, the protagonist of Silent Hill Origins. It's a neat little thing. He was meant to be a bigger character in the game. I'll show you this concept art. There was meant to be a section where you go around with him shooting some things in the forest, I think. But unfortunately, that's all we're going to see of him. What is it? The sign that we saw in the cutscene did not say Silent Hill. It said Shepherd's Glen. So it's just worth noting that Silent Hill Homecoming, for the most part, does not take place in Silent Hill. Also, he says, Travis says, "Is this your hometown?" And Alex says, "You could say that," which sort of implies that it's not his hometown, which is strange because it is his hometown and his family's house is here. And in fact, his name is Alex Shepard. Alex Shepard, as in Shepherd's Glen. His family founded the town. So you could say that is not exactly appropriate. I mean, it is his hometown. Let's look at this map a little bit here. This map is god awful, and there's a few reasons why that I'll point out. The main one being that the cemetery is roughly maybe just under 25% of literally the entire town. I mean, if you don't count stuff like, this useless land here, and all this useless stuff, then it's maybe like 50% of the town. And the town has 4 families who live in it. We'll find out later. So 4 families, and there's a massive... Okay. It's just nonsense. Also, instead of circling something to tell us to go there, we need to circle it, have the game say, "I need to go home," write "my house" on it, and then point an arrow to it. It's so bad. Because this is a lore play, I'll point out the details that I lovingly point out in the other games. In this one, I feel more obligated to do it. I'll just point out that Kubrick Avenue, in all the Silent Hill games for the most part, the names of the streets are named after influential directors or writers or people who influenced Silent Hill. So of course we have Kubrick Avenue, as in the director Stanley Kubrick, which, by the way, the unplugged TV we saw before was probably a reference to The Shining, in which there's an unplugged TV. Carpenter Avenue, of course, John Carpenter, who made The Thing, who made Escape from New York, all sorts of good movies. He made Halloween, it was probably the biggest one. Line Street, I don't remember his first name, but the last name of the director is Line, and he directed Jacob's Ladder. Friedkin, I believe he's a director or a writer, I can't remember exactly. Craven Avenue is, of course, Wes Craven, famous horror director. And Riverview, none of the other ones really seem to mean much. Walton Avenue is the name of an author, I can't remember exactly. I will edit it in here, if I can find it. Okay, and then here we have Scott Boulevard. As far as I've seen in my looking into it, Scott Boulevard means nothing. There's Barker Street and Clive Barker, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, that's about all there is to say about this. It's pretty silly. But the music we're hearing is okay, It's definitely foggy, like a Silent Hill game. Of course, we're not in Silent Hill, though, so, it doesn't really make sense.
I should head back.
The hell is going on? I should head back. So if we try to head in this direction, if we want to head down Main Street, it'll just put in a question mark if we try to run past this bridge and then put us ahead. It just kind of increases the fog, and we end up running straight forward here. And I have to say that I'm surprised we either, 1, didn't hit an invisible wall, or 2, have the game fade out and then fade back in with us right here. So props to them for putting that in there. It's a nice way to do it. The sort of you can't leave, but there's no real blocker. It's the banner for the 150th anniversary parade. 2 big days, rain or shine. Mayor Bartlett, period costume, blah, blah, blah. Nothing much to say about that. This is Dr. Fitch's office. He's been in this location since before I was born. It's locked. Okay. Okay, so let's keep moving. Sorry I had to go. Tell my pug to be quiet again. I just want to point out that I left for about 2 minutes and the music has stopped playing, and instead of looping it or anything, they just left it silent. Another flyer. Olson's Hardware Supplies. It's Mr. Olson's hardware store, but no one is in there. Once Joshua got caught stealing a pack of gum from here. Dad lectured me for letting my little brother shoplift and grounded us both. Okay. Oh.
What happened to this place?
Alex?
Judge Holloway. Hey.
I didn't know you were home. Does your mother know? She didn't say anything.
No, I haven't talked to her. Actually, I haven't really talked to anyone. I'm not planning on sticking around for long.
Oh. Well, I hope you get a chance to catch up with Elle. I'm sure she'd love to see you.
She's still here?
Of course. You know how it is. No one ever leaves this place.
Yeah, I guess. This town's so quiet. It's changed.
Yes. Not for the better, I'm afraid. You should go home. See your mother. Perhaps I'll see you later. You look well, by the way.
Thanks.
Okay, so we met Judge Holloway there. Interesting. I never thought that I'd live to see the day where Silent Hill falls to such awful horror tropes as character is looking at thing and then other character scares them by grabbing their shoulder and saying, hey. Unfortunately, I have lived to see that day. Hopefully I won't live much longer after that. One thing I want to mention is, one, Judge Holloway just looks awful. Her model, her hair looks terrible. Her actual face looks terrible. Everything about her looks pretty awful. She talks about Elle, her daughter, who is someone in the town. Nobody mentions the fact that there's, supernatural fog all over the place, or that when you try to leave the town, it literally turns you around in the fog and sends you back in. It doesn't mention that. She just happens to be wandering around in the fog. Which is, I just want to note, this is not something that happens in Silent Hill games. It's not like a sort of dreamy, damaged people conversation like in Silent Hill 2, where you find people in buildings in appropriate locations with appropriate symbolism and imagery, like when you find Eddie or when you find Angela in the apartment building. And no, you just get grabbed from out of nowhere in the fog by this lady, so that you can have a obligatory introductory cutscene to that lady. Let's try and go in the courthouse here. And you have two loading screens. One is this, and the other is the one with the awful beta pictures. So we can explore this courthouse a bit, but you know what, actually, I'm just gonna leave. We have to come back here later in the game, but there's no point now. There's nothing we can do here. There's no real point to being here. That's one gripe I have with the game design. It leaves you right in front of it. You'd kind of assume that you have to go there since you just got talked to by the judge and you're right next to it. You'd kind of think maybe I should go in there and check it out before I go to my house. Nope, there's nothing for you to do or grab until much later in the game. You just have to go to my house. It's so stupid. Big semi truck back there. Okay. Oh, I'm just running on the street. Oh.
Feels strange to be back here again.
Awesome cutscene. You know, that's really riveting storytelling. That's the kind of thing that really, really is just breaking breaking new ground in storytelling. Instead of just letting me come to the house and discover it myself, I just have to get a fade away with a loading screen till we can see the house and Alex can say, "Home, I haven't been here in a while." Here's the classic Silent Hill collapsed road. Looks fine. You know, nothing wrong with it. It does remind me, though, I should address something, which is perhaps one of the biggest, most annoying things to me, is that in Silent Hill 2, you're in a part of Silent Hill called South Vale. And South Vale is the sort of southern, southwestern part of Toluca Lake. And when you compare the maps of Shepherd's Glen in this game and the map of in Silent Hill 2 and 3 of South Vale, this is sort of the southwest corner here, you can see, because it has a little, the land is obviously going down this way around Toluca Lake. So this sort of retcons Silent Hill 2 and 3 as far as maps go, as far as anything like that goes. And they just didn't really care. I mean, it would have taken 4 seconds for them to just erase this part and move it somewhere else so that it could be plausibly said to be on the west side of the lake instead of the southwest. But they didn't. They just didn't care. They just didn't care. Yeah. Breaks my heart to say it, but it's a bad Silent Hill game. Can we check our mailbox? I don't think so. No. So let's head over here. There's a little hole, and we can duck under this. But it's actually best if we don't right now. So there's all these little exploration things you'd want to go explore, but you could waste upwards of an hour and a half exploring all these places before you're supposed to, because you'd literally find nothing. Looks like something was trying to claw its way out of my garage. The door won't open without the garage door remote. Fair enough. Let's head inside. Let's see if there's any items over here. Nope. Alright. These great loading screens. Oh, not responding. Oh, there we go.
Hello? Huh, that's strange.
Okay. So I just want to point out really quickly about the loading screens. In Silent Hill 2, you get the just very quiet, soft, white footprints across the screen. In Silent Hill 3, you just get a fade to black and then fade back in. In Silent Hill 1, it's the I can't remember what it is in Silent Hill 1, but I know in Silent Hill 4, it's just a slight humanoid-shaped ghost sort of thing that fades in and fades out. All of the loading screens are very subtle to sort of give you a breather. You know, it's just sort of a separate thing. It doesn't break your immersion. It's sort of atmospheric and immersive in and of itself. Whereas in this game, it's you open a door and then look at this fucking loading screen, dude. Look at these sick combos you can do and these fucking wicked images from before, and we didn't bother to update them. And look, this, did you know if you press this button and you hold this button, you can get the damage combo, you can get the strong. Did you know how to strong attack? I bet you don't even know how to dodge, let me tell you. Like, there's not much I can say. There's just not much more I can say. It's just bad. It's just bad. It's just bad. They put no thought into why maybe the loading screens would be quiet and subtle instead of massive film grain and early images that shake and then shaking text that tells you about wicked combos. And it's a photo of Dad, Mom, and Josh. I don't remember this one. Must have put it up while I was gone. So there's quite a lot of things to examine here. Looks like someone got the suitcases down from the attic. Were mom and dad planning on going somewhere? Who knows? Can't go in here. Won't budge. Can't go to the basement. It's the living room. These are Dad's books. He always gets so worked up if I ever touched any of his stuff. Just a dresser, nothing useful. Oh, the couch is really worn out. Me and Josh used to hide our comic books in the cushions. Mom always said they were a waste of time. She didn't understand. So why wouldn't you hide them in your bedroom instead of in the... Okay. This is Mom's favorite French poetry book. She loves poetry. I think these are my grandfather's candle holders. Mom always insisted on lighting them when people came over for big dinners. Here's a lone rocking chair in this little sort of front window gazebo area. But nowhere to go but up. There's a picture here, but it's gone now. You know what? Fair enough. This is a nice reference to Silent Hill 2. For those who don't know, the very famous Bar Neely's, Neely's Bar inscription you find when you go there in the beginning of the game. There's a very strange picture, I'll show it here, where it just says, "There was a hole here, it's gone now." It's very famous. Nobody really knows exactly what it means. Go watch my Silent Hill 2 lore play where I'll explain much more in depth what exactly it might mean, or what it might reference, or what it could mean. But this is a fair reference. Obviously an indentation of where a picture was. There was a picture here, but it's gone now. Fair enough. That's a fun little reference. It's a painting of a landscape. I wonder if it's based on a real place. And this almost looks like just a mirrored image, but it's not. It's a picture of Dad, Mom, and Josh. How come I'm not in it? I know I was there. Oh right, I must have taken the photo. So just to explain, this kind of indicates Josh is our little brother, for those who don't know. That's the little kid we were following. Just some old desk, nothing interesting here. Can we open this door? Oh, we can. It's a letter from Mom to Dad. She never sent me letters when I was in boot camp. Adam, I know that you will soon return to me, but I miss you dearly, and writing to you always calms my nerves. Everything here is the same, but with you gone, the house is so empty. The letter ends there. I guess she never finished it. Vacuum cleaner that looks old. There's a closet. Closet is empty. Where are the clothes? Are they in the suitcases downstairs? Dresser. Little bathroom. Old cassette tape with the label ripped off. I wonder what's on it. Let's take it. I used to hate taking baths when I was a kid. It was always a struggle to get me in the tub. Just take note of that. That's sort of an interesting tidbit of lore for later. Laundry hamper. And let's check over here. Mom and Dad's bed. Joshua and I got caught jumping on it once. Of course I got punished while Josh was totally let off the hook. So I'm in none of the pictures, or Alex is in none of the pictures, and he got punished. Josh didn't. I'm thinking maybe Josh is the favorite here. Mom's jewelry case. I remember she would get mad if I touched it. It looks important, like something you can interact with, but it's not. I remember Mom used to sit here cradling Joshua as a baby. An old picture of Mom and Josh. This was taken years ago. I guess she likes to remember him as her baby. Looks like he's got a bad case of the fetal alcohol syndrome there. The mom looks like Corey Feldman. Anyways. Let's head down the hall. Photo of the whole family. We're at one of the town festivals. Everyone always thought we were the perfect family. I guess people believe what they want to. So Alex hinting. Oh yeah, by the way, that door slammed by itself. It was very scary. This one's on the shore of Toluca Lake. So you can see probably a dad on the shore there, a little kid in the water, and then another older kid, which is probably Alex, blacked out sort of, a silhouette. And he's not in this photo either. There's a photo of me here. Where is it? So obviously I've been sort of taken out of every every photo in the house. Looks like my parents sold all my toys. I guess after I left for the service, they didn't see much point in keeping any of my stuff. Sorry, I'm shifting around my chair. Okay. There's a flashlight on the bed.
What's your problem?
I had a bad dream. Never mind. It's nothing.
Look, take it. Get scared again, just turn it on. Okay?
Thanks, Alex.
Sure.
So, flashlight story, I guess. I should point out that for some reason Josh sleeps in his in his socks, shoes, and cargo shorts. I'd say maybe he's got to be ready to go at all times, but the true reason is the reason why this game sucks ass is that the developers were just lazy and they didn't bother to even take his shoes off. Dad always made us keep our toys in this locker. It's a photo of Dad and Josh fishing at the lake. Why am I never in any of these pictures? So maybe like 2 or 3 of these would be okay, but when there's literally every room like 3 of them, and then he's pointing out why am I never in any of these pictures, it's pretty obvious that something's going on and they hate Alex. Pile of dirty laundry. Bookshelf has seen better days. There's something special about it. Oh, I guess there's something going on here. I have no clue what it is, though. Guess I'm supposed to do something here. Oh, there's a switch. Can I press it? Okay. I can't press the switch. It's broken. This is awful. Yeah, that's just, I just can't press the switch. Let's see here. Joshua's bug collection. One time I helped him catch some spiders in the backyard. He loves spiders for some weird reason. So, sort of interesting. This is like in Silent Hill 1 in Alessa's room. She has a collection of glass cases with bugs in them. Same in Silent Hill 2. We find some in the butterfly nest room. We find something similar in Silent Hill 3 in the same room for Silent Hill 1. Sort of a recurring theme. Also in Resident Evil 1, we see something like this when you get the bird or bee replicas and stuff. Nothing that much, or nothing that interesting, I guess. Oh, went too fast through it. I really feel like I have to press this. I really do, but I can't. It doesn't work. Okay. Let's see if we can go through here. No. Let's try this room. No. I need a key to open it. So it looks like all we can do here is try and press this button. But how we do that, I have no clue. I will cut the video and try to figure out how to fix this.